And boom, another great episode from The Walking Dead. That's right, everybody. This is the Z-Man Show, and we are talking the Season 10 mid-season finale. This is the episode 8, and it's called The World Before. And you guys, these guys, I'll tell you, for losing so many great characters, this show is definitely on it, okay? Angela Kang, her writers, their whole backup crew, and everything else that bring all this together, they're doing a wonderful job. So we're going to talk again. This is a top base, I call them the big hits, and I guess, questions that happened after tonight's episode. So let's just get straight into it, right? So first off, Siddiq, that intro scene, and I don't know about you, but I was definitely on edge, right? So Rosita ends up coming in, and Siddiq turns, and I don't know what it is, but I cannot stand it. It hurts me so much when I see our cool survivor friends when they get killed and then they end up having to turn. It's like the worst, right? Now you have to come back as the undead and whatever that feels like, which probably feels like nothing, right? You're dead. I still don't like it, but all the same, so creepy he's turning in there, and you know, Dante and his creepy ass and the way he's trying to set it up, and Rosita's, you could tell she wasn't fully buying it. I mean, I will say it was a pretty good lie he was trying to pull on her. But anyways, before you know it, they get into it. And as soon as she sets down the baby, and it was cool to see Rosita in full kick-ass gear mode. And she was on it. But then, you know, Siddiq hears the baby crying. It's a zombie Siddiq. And he comes in. And luckily she was able to take him out in time. But wow, what a scene set up, right? And when she starts whooping Dante in the face, I was just like, yes, thank you. You know, this dude deserves so much worse, and we'll get to that just momentarily, but it was awesome to see that. Sucks to lose Siddiq. It is a humongous blow for Alexandria and our friends. I mean, they have no more doctors. I mean, sure, somebody can start reading some books and trying to figure it out, but they're pretty much screwed. Dante was the secondary doctor. Now they don't have anybody else. I mean, eventually they'll find somebody. It's a damn doctor curse on this show. Do not be a doctor. You're going to get axed, right? So that was pretty crazy. Furthermore, not just far after that, I want to mention about how that scene after the funeral and whatnot, and you know, we see Rosita. She goes out with the awesome brass knuckles, mind you, and the spikes coming off it, and I guess she's testing her skills out there, and that's what I figured. I was like, man, she's going out there just to get a little bit of practice in, and probably release some anger and whatnot, and she's nailing them. But that last one, he kind of got the best of her. Now she's starting to get almost a little PTSD style thing, thinking of Siddiq, how he's dead, seeing him almost kill their baby, and everything else. So, and Eugene comes to her rescue, and I'm just calling it now. And of course, a lot of you have already seen the scenes from the next half of the season, but there's definitely something building there. I think Rosita has definitely seen how Eugene cares for her more than anybody else, right? And I think she finally sees that there's more to it than just maybe just good looks or this or that, but someone that truly just cares for you and would try and do anything for you. And Eugene would. I truly believe he would. That is where he would find his most bravery inside of him. So again, we'll see more. I saw a preview with almost a kiss happening, and so it's on the way. Let's just see what happens, see if we're right on this one. Next up, then, let's just go ahead and hit with the love triangle while we're going at it. So Gabriel momentarily, I would call, loses it, but I mean, he definitely knew what he was doing. But he goes in, he go to talk to Dante, right? Dante's in the cell, and when he opened up that cell, I was just thinking to myself, you know, Gabriel, what are you doing? You know, I mean, I'm sure you can kick ass if you wanted to, and we never really seen a whole lot out of you, but I'm sure you can get after it. But he went in there, and I'm just thinking, Dante's still dangerous. I mean, you're still going to go in there. So he goes in there, and I knew it was a possibility that this could happen, but I just didn't think to this magnitude. And they're kind of talking, and you can see Gabriel's trying to rationalize, of course, a normal person's way of thinking, and kind of talking to Dante and basically how his backwards ass way of thinking is just wrong, and talking about the second chance, and he stabs him. But you know, it would have definitely been bad enough just stabbing him, letting him bleed out, and then Dante trying to get up with his last bit of energy. Gabriel just starts stabbing the hell out of him. I mean, that was an oh shit. I think that is my biggest OSHIT moment for episode 8, for sure. I was just like, wow. And you know, and Gabriel got done with it, and he was kind of crying. I almost expected him to start laughing a little bit, just kind of like just that crazed moment. I just want to know if you guys thought if that was your oh shit moment for this episode, or did you have something else in mind? So let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear. And so as we move throughout, I'm going to hit it on briefly and then we'll talk to it again, but Gamma ends up speaking to Aaron and pulls off some kind of half-ass trade or whatever. So basically, she is going to reveal the location for Alpha's herd, in return for basically being able to see her nephew, which I think they called him Adam, if I'm not mistaken. And so, Aaron, he's skeptic, but he feels that this is something very important to her. So she's probably not lying. However, the others not really totally buying into it. But furthermore, as we get into it, I want to talk about that scene when Daryl and Carol and then some of the others met up from Hilltop, and Jerry went. And I'm trying to think of some of the others, but all the same, they got their crew and they're going to find the herd. But there's a scene where it was just Daryl and Carol, and then basically Daryl calls out Carol because he's like, I'm tired of this, He goes, he said, you never left that boat, it's been like you're talking to a damn ghost. And he's totally right. And it was awesome to see Daryl really calling her out, and then Carol actually breaking her shield, her wall down. And I loved it when Daryl kind of looked at her, he goes, you tell me, kind of like, we've been through too much. You don't lie to me. You tell me what's up. And she said she didn't know how. And of course, Carol's hurting, but Daryl sees that and he's trying to say it's all right to share. Anyways, great scene, great writing. It was perfect. So that was awesome. And we cannot leave out our badass leader, mother, and everything else, Michonne, as she's heading out with her daughter and Luke and a bunch of others, and they're heading out to Oceanside, right? Because along the way, she finds out about Sadiq through the radio. Obviously, she's hurting from that, I should say. And but just seeing her badassery in this episode, Michonne is so badass. I mean, she kills it. She kills it in all areas. It is nothing less than a dang shame that we are losing her on this show. I hope maybe she just takes a break, comes back, they don't kill her off, but there's no telling. I mean, she'll definitely be in the second half for sure. How long though? And we'll talk about that, because she could be in some possible trouble, as now she's on this boat pretty much with this one other guy, Virgil, which Virgil, remember, we met in the library where Luke almost bit it. And mind you, if you're going to go book searching in a creepy ass library, kind of dark, just a little bit of light coming in, you maybe want to check all the aisles before you just start going into your book music diving. I know I would, but again, there'd be no drama if we did all the smart things, right? But he almost got it and got it bad. But Virgil saved him last minute, and then he ran out and away. And then the next time we saw him, he's being drugged into Oceanside by some of their people, and they're trying to question him, figure out what's going on. It was just awesome just seeing Michonne just work off it, and Judith too, just in her little samurai sword. She's like, "Mommy," and I'm just like, "Oh, that is pretty cool." I mean, at times I'm kind of like, it's a little cheesy, I guess, with the whole Judith thing and her do-good attitude and this and that, but I admit she plays a good little character. A total Grimes for sure. But yeah, Michonne's on this boat alone with him. They're heading out basically to see if if this naval island that he's from, supposedly his family's there, and this naval island could have weapons, maybe weapons enough to take out this horde if possible, right? The imaginary horde, or wherever they are. It's not imaginary, but you know what I mean. They're hidden. We don't know what they're doing, what they're up to. So, yeah, we'll have to see. God, I hope nothing crazy happens to Michonne when they're out there on the ocean. We'll see what happens. I hope she stays safe. And as for Virgil, the big question, can we trust him? I'm not sure. God, these people have gotten so good. I mean, I always felt weird about Dante. I gotta be honest, I'm not getting that feeling from Virgil's character, but I mean, who really ever knows? And I mean, you try to ask them questions and you try to feel them out, but people are great liars, and this far into the apocalypse, the ones that are bad and are willing to do nothing but evil things, they know how to infiltrate. They will. So I'd love to hear from you. What do you think? Is he gonna be a sour one, or do you think we got potential there? I mean, it looks like it's possible. I'm leaning towards yes, he could be good, but I'm so hesitant after what we've seen with Dante and some of the others. I don't know, but I'd love to hear from you about that. So let's just rewind just 1 minute here, and let's talk about Gamma one more time. So that's another one of my big questions, like, can Gamma be trusted? Okay, we've already seen her have little setbacks along the way, and then Alpha does her best to pretty much reel her right back in, which seems like that worked just as well. But at this point, this woman she's so caught up in this mess of intertwining between her sister's death, her nephew that she can't see, but it's her only family left, because I think she did love her sister, but she was into that Alpha BS. She's like, no, Alpha comes first, everybody else second, if it's even second, right? So I don't trust her. I don't trust Gamma. I do believe she cares for her nephew and stuff, but I think she's still devoted to Alpha and her ways. And furthermore, after our friends, Carol, Daryl, and some of the others get out to finally find that horde. It's not in the location that Gamma said, but we got that one camera angle behind the trees, right, where something was watching them, right? It could have just been that random camera angle, but then we find out as they're moving along, Carol sees somebody in the distance or something, right? And she tells the other, or she says she'll meet up with the others, and she sees it, and it's Alpha, and then Alpha starts running away, and I'm just like, Carol, tell me you are not, I mean, as the writers, and it's such a big show, they have to be careful with what kind of stupidity they use. It's easy when it's a small show like mine. I mean, stupidity is just everywhere. But when it's something like Walking Dead, I expect a little bit more. And the fact that she ran after her, endangering all of our friends, and her friends as well. I mean, Carol is just on that road to revenge, which, what do they say, dig 2 graves, you know? And in fact, in this case, she might be digging more than 2. So, I mean, obviously they're not going to kill off all of our characters right away, but I tell you what, I started to really freak out when Daryl was by himself after he was falling behind, right? And then Aaron kind of looked back and then just kind of went in, and I'm thinking to myself, oh, thanks, Aaron. See you in a minute. You know? So Daryl gets 2 knives out, looking badass as ever, heads in and ends up falling into this caved-in area, which it looks like everybody else also fell into, and lowered him down to this cave area where Alpha is hiding the horde. Okay, so that brings me to that Gamma cannot be trusted, right? She said it was one place, and it ended up being in a total another. Now, it could be argued that no, Alpha told Gamma that it was at a certain area, and, you know, just playing along, just trying to keep all of her ducks in a row, so that way she really, her and her watchers can only really know where the horde is, and maybe she's just kind of stringing Gamma along. Maybe. I think it's a huge stretch. I don't like it. I wouldn't trust her, especially after what we've seen. I wouldn't trust any of those guys. I mean, I know they have to find the horde, and I know their very survival really depends on it, but it stinks to high hell. And I'm very annoyed, as you can see. I'm just kind of on edge. This whole episode really had me on edge. It was a great episode to watch. Hour and 20 minutes, so pretty cool. We got a little extended content. We'll be back in, February probably, so it sucks that we have to halt our reviews for now, but maybe it'll give me some other time to focus on other things, some other things I want to try and get to you guys maybe throughout the week. And if I look tired, it's because I am. Sorry about that in advance. I spent 9 hours on my Dead Nightmare shoot today, day 2 of filming, so that's pretty badass. We made up a couple new zombies, and they were on. We did a bunch of dialogue scenes and building the story, and it's supposed to be our episode 7, but depending on our weather, if winter hits us a little too fast here in St. Louis, then I may have to put it off, and then we'll sub in some other content until we can finish the filming. But I'm super excited to get you guys some of the stuff. They're really doing a good job. This crew with Dustin and James and Mike and Day and Shannon, and we even have some new survivors. I think you guys are really going to love it. If you haven't check out the Dead Nightmare series on my channel, or you actually go to deadnightmare.com and look at it there too. And so there's a ton of content to watch there. It's totally free for you all. Yes, there's ads in there, but it's the only way I can get a little bit of money back to pay for all the props and this and that. So guys, it's been an awesome first part of Season 10. I hope you're enjoying it as much as I am. You know, and for the naysayers and haters, hey, rock and roll, man. If you're done with the show, then you're done. I have no ill will feelings towards you, but I'll tell you, I'm still enjoying it. I love me everything zombies. So, in fact, so much so that I'm actually going to return for Fear the Walking the Dead. Why is the biggest question of them all. Why come back? I don't know. The show is so bad, but I just have to see where they're going to take it. I can't help it. So maybe some of you will join me on that journey, and so make sure to like and subscribe if you did enjoy this video, and get out there and watch that Dead Nightmare content. Again, it's a little rough in the beginning, because remember, it was more that episode 1 and 2 and so forth was our really first chance at making a short film. But I tell you, the actors are getting better, and the zombies are looking better, and we're finding all those details. I think you're going to enjoy episodes 5 and 6 and what we have planned for you. So this is Mike Schilling with the Z-Man Show, and I will see you guys at the next review. See you guys.